Have you ever wondered what makes a generation more than just a range of birth years? Why people born just decades apart seem to speak, dream, and even think in completely different ways? Today, we're exploring the story of humanity, generation by generation. From the war-torn lost generation to the unborn digital natives of Generation Beta. A generation is more than a timestamp. It's a shared echo of history, molded by wars, revolutions, inventions, and global shifts. It shapes how millions dream, love, fear, and strive, often without realizing they're part of something bigger. Lost Generation, 1883 to 1900. These were the dreamers who watched the world collapse in the trenches of World War I. Disillusioned, they questioned everything: tradition, honor, even hope. Many turned to art and literature, pouring their pain into words that still haunt and inspire us today. Greatest Generation, 1901 to 1927. They didn't just endure, they rebuilt. From the beaches of Normandy to factories back home, they faced horror with dignity and came back as architects of peace. Their legacy? Quiet courage, unwavering sacrifice, and the blueprint for rebuilding a broken world. Silent Generation, 1928 to 1945. Raised in scarcity, they came of age under pressure. Often overlooked, they sparked civil rights, early feminism, and world-changing inventions, without asking for applause. Sometimes the quietest voices carry the strongest echoes. Baby Boomers, 1946 to 1964, born into hope, raised on revolution. From Woodstock to Wall Street, they redefined what rebellion and responsibility could look like. A generation that started with peace signs and ended with boardroom deals, and everything in between. Generation X, 1965 to 1980. The Latchkey Kids, raised in shifting family dynamics and global uncertainty. They became independent, skeptical, and tech-savvy before it was cool. Gen X was analog raised in a digital dawn, gritty, grounded, and underappreciated. Millennials, 1981 to 1996. They came of age with the internet boom and crashed into adulthood during the Great Recession. The side hustle generation, hardworking, burnout-prone, and purpose-driven. They're not soft. They're the ones challenging toxic norms and reshaping what success really means. Generation Z, 1997 to 2012. Born into full connectivity, Gen Z lives online and thinks globally. Bold, unfiltered, and politically engaged, they swipe through injustice and speak truth to power. Older generations fear their detachment, yet that detachment is often how they see truth more clearly. Generation Alpha, 2013 to 2024. These kids are growing up with AI as a playmate, not a tool. Smart speakers in the nursery, tablets before they can talk. But will this hyperconnection lead to deeper insight or deeper distraction? Generation Beta, 2025 to 2039. They aren't even born yet, but their world is already being built. A world of bioengineering, space tourism, neural networks, and digital twins. For them, the line between human and machine may blur more than ever before. Every generation is a mirror, showing us who we were, who we are, and who we might become. None are better. Each is a response to the world it was handed. Beta's world may be filled with virtual teachers, AI playmates, and learning through VR. But their challenges? Loneliness and hyperconnection? Moral complexity and artificial companionship? Like every generation before them, they'll face questions no one saw coming. But here's the truth. Every generation has adapted, rebelled, evolved, and overcome. Generational identity isn't destiny, it's context. You are not a stereotype. You're a thread in a much greater tapestry. Let's reflect on what each generation brought to the world. Lost generation, disillusioned survivors of global upheaval. Greatest generation, duty, sacrifice, and post-war rebuilding. Silent generation, quiet progress through hard times. Baby boomers, cultural revolution and economic expansion. Gen X, independence, skepticism, and analog to digital transition. Millennials, purpose-driven, digitally fluent changemakers. Gen Z, hyper-aware, globally connected truth seekers. Gen Alpha, immersed in technology from birth. Gen Beta, shaped by AI, ethics, and new frontiers. So, where do you fall? What values define your generation, and which ones are you rewriting? More importantly, what legacy will you leave behind? Because in the end, a generation is a relay. One group shapes the world and passes the baton to the next. So let's not just ask, what generation am I? Let's ask, what story am I telling and what future am I helping to build? If this journey through time meant something to you, drop a comment with your generation and one word that defines it. Like, share, and subscribe, because your story doesn't end here. And neither does this conversation.